I'm joined now by the head coach of Kentucky. 19th year as a college head coach, second year at Kentucky, second head coach in NCAA history to lead 3 different programs to the Final Four, 2-time coach of the year. He has won over 500 career games, and he's got Kentucky back in the Final Four for the first time in 13 years. John Calipari is my guest. John, nice to have you back in the jungle. How are you?
Romy, how are you?
Cal, I'm great. How are you?
The boys still playing soccer?
You know, one boy still plays soccer, one quit, but the one who quit still has a signed letter of intent, and the wife says she's going to hold you to it.
Good. He's good then. He doesn't have to play any sports. He comes here, and I'll put him on the team.
There you go. We're gonna hold you to it. A contract is a contract, right, John?
You're funny. You are funny.
Oh, no, but I'm not kidding, though, and my wife especially is not kidding. She's got that, Doc.
Is that why I'm getting those beautiful cards? I get those cards to remind me.
That's it. John Calipari, my guest. I appreciate that, Cal. You've got Kentucky back in the Final Four for the first time since 1999. You know, it's one thing to do it other places where they might not expect it, but this is a program that does expect it, and it had been a while. How does it feel?
Well, I'm happy, and I didn't even know it had been 13 years. They said it after the game. I said, wow, it's been that long. You know, I'm not thinking in those terms, but, you know, here you're right. There's an expectation level. There's really an expectation level to win every game. And to get to a Final Four, it's a hard deal now. And let me say this. Somebody said to me, they said, did you know that this team could get to a Final Four? I said, well, I felt really good about my team until I saw our seed. We were the 4th 4. We weren't a 4 seed. We were the last 4.
Sure.
And if we won a couple games, we were playing the number 1 team in the country who was dominating college basketball. So, and then North Carolina is the first 2, the 5th team. And so I just said, we got a tough road. But I'll tell you, these kids fought and were resilient. And every time anybody made a run at us, we made a shot or a big block or a big steal.
John Calipari, my guest. I want to correct something. I said 99. It's 1998. You know, John, you lost 5 guys to the NBA last year. Everybody knows that. This was supposed to be something of a transitional year. At what point did you first think, you know, it's not about next year. We can win it all right now?
I liked this team from the beginning of the year. Now, we did not know, and college basketball fans didn't get to see Ennis, which is well, you know, whatever. The kid's 18 years old. Right now, he's still 18, and he should be playing, but that's fine. But even without Ennis, I liked my team. The issue became, would we come together, and would the veterans quit deferring to the young kids and stand up and play? So right now, the guys that are playing so well are Darius Miller, DeAndre Liggins, Josh Harrelson. They are carrying us. My 2 heroes on this team, obviously Brandon Knight's playing well. My 2 heroes are Terrence Jones and Deron Lamb, and you may ask me why. Because they're stepping back a little bit. I told Terrence, you can't shoot as many balls. We got to get more people involved. He said, fine. He's scoring less, he's rebounding more, he's defending more, and we're a way better team. He could still go for 25 if he needs to. Deron Lamb, I need you to less offensively, more defensively. I need you coming in this game shooting threes. But I got to give some of your minutes to DeAndre Liggins. You know what? He steps back a little bit. He still scores, still is a star, yet DeAndre's now able to step up and become all-region. You know, all East team. So, I mean, those 2 young men who've taken a half a step back, just a half a step. And you know what? Everybody's still looking at them knowing how good they are as players and that their stars are just not scoring. They're scoring like 2 or 3 points less per game.
John Calipari, my guest. John, go back to that point about the vets, Liggins, Harrelson, and Miller. You went to them after that loss to Ole Miss and said as much. I can't have you guys deferring. You've got to step up. You've got to man up. Was that then the turning point of the year?
Well, I don't think it was me saying it. I think it was them putting that in action and saying, we accept that. And, you know, taking hold of this team, you can't count on freshmen to do all that. You got to take hold. Last year we had Patrick Patterson. He could grab the team by the horns and say, look, let's go, let's do what we're supposed to do here. This team needed that from those veteran players. How about Josh Harrelson? How about Josh Harrelson's life has changed? And Jim, everybody wants Cal coaching. It isn't me coaching. The kid has changed his body, has changed his skill level by working extra, coming to practice early, and he's changed his attitude about practicing and improvement and playing basketball. And all of a sudden, that's translated into a different performance. And now you're seeing what he is. I had a guy grab me the other day whose wife teaches on campus and had Josh, said she had him last year. He was texting on the phone, messing around. Now in class, a model student. It's amazing when you change habits, how those change habits transfer in all parts of your life.
Yeah, you first make your habits and then they make you. But the question then becomes, John, what happened for him? How did that light go off? Was there an epiphany? Did you push him to do it? What changed for him inside of him?
The jungle's going to love this story. He Twittered in November and kind of threw me under the bus. And he tried to take it off. Like 15 seconds later, he realized what he did. But it's too late. It's up. And it ran through when I saw it, I was on the road recruiting. My first thought is, he's out. He's done. Not good enough to be that. He's not talking about me. My ego kind of took over. Well, I had some time to think about it, went to Mass the next morning and come out, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give this kid a chance. He's gonna condition for a half hour before every practice, and I mean killer. And then he's going to practice. And if he doesn't want to do it, he can quit. Wouldn't matter to me one bit. And you know what? That conditioning with Kenny Payne, that work went from conditioning to skill work. That his habits, and he was scared to death to smile in practice because he thought I was going to throw him off the team. His change, he did it. He had to do it. That changed his whole life. And it's one of the great stories. And for me, it's one of those things 20 years from now, when you talk about former players, I'll talk about this young man because he did it. He changed.
John, for those who don't know exactly what the tweet was that made you so angry, what did he tweet?
Something that this guy won't give me any credit and he's this and that. How about, I can't remember exactly what it was, but he went after me a little bit.
Yeah, can I get a pat on the back? What's a guy have to do to get a little credit around here?
Yeah, something like that. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, and now we all know the internet is an ink. I mean, if it's out there forever. You can't delete that sort of thing. Let me ask you about Brandon Knight.
He tried to delete it. It didn't come off.
You can't. Oh, no, you cannot. Once it's out there, and especially if you've got that Kentucky uniform on, somebody's going to see it. In terms of Brandon Knight, you've had some great point guards, Derrick Rose, John Wall, Tyreek Evans. Others come to mind. Where do you rank Brandon Knight?
Well, let me say, somebody just asked me if they were all playing one-on-one. I said, well, Tyreek would try to take you next to the goal with his size. John Wall would try to run by you. Derrick Rose would jump over you and dunk on you. And Brandon Knight would shoot your eyeballs out. So they're all different, but they're all great. I grabbed him today, and all I said to him was, I need you to continue to be aggressive. I need you to talk to Deron Lamb, and when he gets in the game, say, you sprint the floor, I'm going to find you. Keep communicating with DeAndre Liggins and find out when he needs the ball and get it to him. And if that game's on the line, son, you know that ball's going to be in your hands. I got all the faith in you in the world, and I believe in you. I'm proud of you. And then I apologized to him. I left the court after that game because I wanted those players to celebrate themselves. I didn't even know he was voted MVP of the region. I had no idea. So today I congratulated him and apologized for not saying anything to him.